You are not bad with money. Sit with that for a second, because you have been told the exact opposite your entire life. You earn more than you used to, and somehow there is never any more left at the end of it. You are not lazy. You are not stupid. You are running a piece of software that works perfectly in a world that no longer exists. Your brain was tuned across 1,000,000 years for small tribes, constant scarcity, and survival by nightfall. A world where you could not save, where tomorrow was only a rumor, where looking poor could get you killed. And then, in the blink of an evolutionary eye, you were handed banks, credit, markets, and 40-year horizons. And every old setting, every good instinct from that vanished world, now points you quietly away from wealth. It never feels like sabotage. It feels like plain common sense. And that is exactly why it works. The first setting. Your brain treats your own future as a complete stranger. Offer it a small reward now, or a far larger reward later, and now wins. Almost every time, at almost any cost. Because to the ancient brain, later was a bet it rarely won. Eat now, spend now. Later may never arrive at all. So saving feels like starving a real, hungry you today to feed a faint ghost decades away. A ghost you do not quite believe is even you. And a whole industry was built to press exactly this button. Buy it now, pay for it later. Credit hands the pleasure to the you of this instant and quietly mails the pain to a you that does not feel real yet. The second setting makes the whole trap feed on itself. When money runs short, the mind tunnels. It narrows onto the emergency right in front of you, the rent, the bill, the red number, and shuts almost everything else out. And researchers put a hard number on the cost of it. Money worry drains your mental bandwidth, enough to drop your thinking by around 13 points of IQ, more than losing an entire night of sleep. Farmers scored higher on the very same tests, after the harvest had paid them, than in the anxious weeks before. So sit with the quiet cruelty of it. Being short of money steals the exact clarity you would need to stop being short of money. It is not a character flaw, it is a tax, and the less you have, the more of your mind it quietly takes. The third setting quietly warps every choice you make. A loss hurts about twice as much as the same-sized win ever feels good. Losing 100 aches far more than finding 100 ever pleased. So you cling. You hold the losing bet, praying it climbs back. You sell the winner far too early, just to lock in the small, safe joy. You leave your money sitting still, in cash, in a drawer, quietly bleeding away to inflation, because moving it feels like risking a loss. The fear of losing keeps you from the very risk that slowly builds real wealth. You feel perfectly safe, and you are leaking. And the same warped setting makes you buy a lottery ticket and an insurance policy in the very same week. Terrified of a tiny loss, seduced by a tiny chance. Two opposite bets from one crooked little ruler in your head. The fourth setting is the loudest and by far the most expensive. Your brain reads wealth as rank, and rank once meant survival itself. In the tribe, the one who looked poor was the one left behind when it mattered. Low status was a genuine physical danger, so the brain spends on whatever can be seen. The car, the label, the watch that quietly announces, "I am doing just fine." You buy things you do not need to impress people who are not watching, with money you do not actually have. And now we have built the cruelest version of it. A feed showing you every neighbor's best day, all at once, forever. Once you compared yourself to the village. Now you compare yourself to the entire earth and to lives that do not even exist. And here is the swap almost no one ever notices. The money you spend looking rich is the exact money that would have made you rich. Loud and broke, or quiet and free. The fifth setting guarantees you never ever arrive, because whatever you finally buy, the joy of it simply evaporates. The new car thrills you for a month, then it is just the car. The raise feels enormous until it quietly becomes the new normal. They followed people who won the lottery. Within about a year, their happiness had drifted back to almost precisely where it had started. Both the thrill of winning and the ache of losing wear off. You always drift home to your baseline, so you chase more. And the finish line runs ahead of you, step for step for step. This is the engine beneath the entire machine. Enough is always just a little past wherever you happen to be standing. And beneath all five of them, the cruelest edit of all. The brain quietly welds together two things that were never the same. I have little, and I am little. It is called money shame, and it makes you look away. You leave the statement unopened. You do not check the balance. You never quite build the plan. Because looking feels like standing before a judge who has already decided exactly what you are worth. But the number is not a verdict on your soul. It is only data, cold, neutral, quietly waiting, and looking away has never once made it smaller. Avoidance simply guarantees the exact outcome you are most afraid of. And look closer at that shame, because you did not even write it. The story you run about money, tight-fisted or reckless, people like us never get rich, was handed down to you by parents and their parents who counted coins by candlelight and taught you to flinch before you ever held one of your own. So you are not being careless, and you are not being cheap. You are being loyal to a fear that was never yours to carry. Running someone else's old panic on your own account, long after the danger that wrote it has gone. So here is the turn. You are not bad with money. You are not weak or lazy or broken. You are running flawless survival software in an environment it was never once written for. Every default, spend now, flee the loss, signal your rank, chase the next thing, hide from the number, was once a brilliant bet in the world that shaped you. In this one, each is a slow, silent leak. So understand what building wealth truly is. Wealth is not built by earning more. It is built by overriding a brain that is trying at every single turn to keep you safe in a world that is already gone. You cannot delete the software, but you can stop obeying it. And every real move points the same way, against the grain of the machine. Automate the saving so that future you does not depend on present you, winning a fight he loses almost every time. Make that future self real. The stranger you are saving for is not a stranger at all. He is you, older, tired, standing exactly where you will stand, hoping you did not spend his only rescue on a feeling that lasted a week. Buy the boring, invisible thing instead of the loud, visible one. The asset that no one sees over the signal that everyone does. Quiet wealth always outlasts loud broke. And look, once, without flinching, at the number you have been avoiding. It is not your worth. It is only your starting line. And you cannot move from a place you refuse to even look at. Then notice the treadmill still running beneath your feet. Past a certain point, more money stops buying happiness and quietly begins buying a cage. The hours, the pressure, the endless chase for a joy that already wore off. You came here to learn why you can never quite seem to get ahead. Leave knowing you were never weak. You were only loyal to an ancestor beside a fire who could not have dreamed of a savings account. See what people hide, even from themselves.